After an extremely long silence, we finally have an update to Arknight Endfield, and it's a huge one. Not only has Arknights dropped their signups for the next beta test, but they also released a new demo that has a lot to uncover. Let's take a good look and see what kind of details I spotted while watching the trailer. Demo trailer, whatever it's called, we're gonna go over that right now. The biggest thing most people will notice right away is the colors of the game compared to the last test. It looks significantly brighter than before, but it also doesn't betray the style that it had going for it originally. It's vibrant and looks more attractive than the dull and gray-like aesthetics we had in the previous test. The grass is not so sad looking anymore. Someone finally watered the grass in Endfield. I'm insanely happy with the changes, and this only further opens up what the Endfield team can achieve with the area design, and we'll see more of that just real soon. The area we're in right now has been debated by me and my friends whether this is the initial starting area of the tech test, which is called the hub base, or some completely brand new area. It follows a lot of similarities to the hub base, so I'll just call this the hub base revamped for now. We have a lot of NPCs roaming about. Previously the world was emptier, but they upped the number of NPC count with them walking about, giving us a more populated feel, which has me also excited for what the game could end up doing for larger cities or populated areas going forward, but I'm also scared for those who don't quite meet the specs for this game or phones that aren't meant for gaming. Just comparing the hub base from then and now, there's a huge change in the structures and the environment around it. And you know, I could be wrong, this could be a completely different area, but it follows a similar structure to the first hub area in the tech test, with the player base just being up the road to the right. Now let's get into the UI of the game. It looks clean. Many things are pushed off to the corners of the screen, clearing up the middle section of the screen, leaving little room for something to get in the way during gameplay. The party list has been moved to the bottom left of the screen. I'm used to character lists being on the right side, so that way I can kind of look quickly while also playing. It's a bit weird to kind of look up and down, but it's okay, not a big worry, I can always adjust. Oddly enough, the in-game money LMDs is not here. Instead, it's just the, what I can guess, the premium currency, like Arundums, just present here only. Here are some of the icons translated, and if this is correct, the equipment manufacturing seems to be accessible from the menu as well, so you don't need to run back to base every single time you want to make something, which is very convenient. And the one other new icon I spotted was something called the Stronghold, which could be just a mistranslation, but it could mean something for our base later on. Arguably, the biggest change is right here in the characters section. This change will literally jump out at you, and you'll notice it right away with a nice splash of yellow that goes with the gray that we had previously. And on top of that, we get to see the new character animations during the screen, and it's a lot more here going on than we had previously in the other tests. Previously, the Endman did a simple turn and hair touch, and that's all we had. Now, we have her jumping around and showing off her powers, and overall, she just looks happier than before. She probably looks happy because the game is one step closer to being released, and I'm happy for that as well. Some of the stats look similar, but they dropped defense pierce and instead only kept HP, attack, and just regular defense. They've also included some new icons which Google translates as strength, agile, knowledge, and will. The equipment is also seen here on the right, and this small change eliminates so much menu clutter and navigation. It's really smart on the team to do this subtle change like this. The skill section has a cool meter that shows the level progression of a skill, and there's also a talent section which seems very similar to the OG Arknights game. And lastly, Elite, which is the promotion of units just like in the original Arknights. Now let's go over every single character we see here, and you'll notice that they have an element associated with each one of them. Perlica also has an upgraded animation here. I really love how much life has been shown with her this time around. She sports lightning as an element, with her being a caster still. Now for the biggest change in characters, Wolfguard. He's fire and a specialist unit. He has been completely changed up. His design has been massively overhauled. Before, he looked pretty stiff. I didn't think it was the worst thing ever, but this new look gives him a more rugged appearance than before. Instead of having a greatsword, he now is a gun unit, so he's basically the Billy of the Endfield. Personally, I dig his new look, and if you're wondering, well, where'd the greatsword at then? Well, it's with our new character. It's with Enfield's Ben Bigger, Da Pan, a panda with an earth leaf element, and he's a guard's greatsword user, and I'm all for these unique designs. This isn't something foreign to Arknights. We've had animal-looking characters before, so it's paying homage back to that as well. Also, his name, Da Pan, Panda, Hypergriff, you guys are clever. I love how he's just eating noodles here, and then as soon as he realizes, oh, I gotta pay attention, he throws everything away and puts on sunglasses with chopsticks. Guys, please do not change his design at all. I love him so much. Keep him the way he is. He's great. I'm excited for him. Next we have Zaihi, which I'm sorry if I butchered her name, but she's showing off some more animations. Her Panic here is just really cute. It's just chef's kiss. I love her so much. She's our ice supporter operator, not medic. Don't get that mixed up. And finally, we get to Chen, our physical guard unit, and she is such a joy to see. I love her the most at the moment. I mean, how can you hate her? She's more animated than before, and she's cheerful. I love the starting character so much. I wish that more games made their characters so likable like this. I'll definitely be building her all the way through. I just love how animated she is. Look at her jump around. I am very happy for the future of this game. Please give us cool characters like this with fun animations. Now, before we continue, let me go over all the new characters that were also featured on the website, but not in the demo itself. We have Li Fang, Ember, Arclight, Levitain, Yvonne, Snowshine, Aviwenna, and Gilberta. Yeah, so they changed her name from Angelina to Gilberta. I don't know who willingly picked this name, but please change it before, you get out to the full release, because what kind of name is that? The biggest thing to notice here are the Rhode Island operators, because, well, 3 of them are literally copy and paste straight from Arknights here. Levitain is Surtur, Snowshine is Aurora, and lastly, we have Gilberta, which I really don't like that name at all, who is Angelina. Warfarin is mentioned a few times in their bio as well, so what exactly is the mystery between why we have these exact Arknight operators here and their Endfield counterparts is a mystery at the moment. The Endfield lore in the past, we previously knew that Angelina was actually a clone of the original one from Arknights, and as far as I know, everything still remains the same here, so what about the other 2 characters, There are hints of Levitain loving ice cream and sharing some similar traits to that of Surtur, and I just really want this game to come out so we can get the answers already. I'm just sitting here like, please stop teasing us any further. Overall, I'm loving all the characters. I have no gripes, and I'm excited to see what exactly will roll out as the game comes out. And here's the base section of the game here. It doesn't look like there's too much to show off here that hasn't been changed since the last test. I'm a huge fan of the base feature, and honestly, I like new ideas like this rather than just being a open, semi-open world, action RPG gacha game. Okay, now let's get into the combat of the game. We now have the option to use teammate skills without having to swap to them, which in the past was a bit tedious to swap to somebody and use their skill then swap back, so I like this change very much. Now we have more skills to use from each teammate during battle. There's a skill to press and use, and the other option is to hold, and that activates the character's ult. Utilize the skills properly, will gather all the enemies within one space, and you can just go to town with everyone else. A previous critique that not only I, but a majority of people have shared was that there was a lack of a dodge button. It felt really awkward to play, just trying to run away from enemy attacks didn't really feel too great to do. But fear not, because now it seems that we have a dodge button in the game, or something like that. And we'll get to that in just a second, but first, our characters here are prepping for a battle by placing a whole turret down before a battle start, and it actually helps you in battle. It does a good chunk of damage to enemies, so hey, I mean, still do your part and do damage, but this is really funny just seeing your character set up a whole entire turret system to fight enemies before it even starts. Here is where we finally see the Endman doing a dash in a certain direction, so it seems like you can kind of pick whatever direction you want to dodge in and dash away from it. A stamina meter shows up just as you do it, so you can't, dodge forever. You can only do it a limited amount of times before you can get it back. Not only that, but we also appear to have a backstep dodge, where you can kind of just take a second to step away from the enemy attacks. Now, please note the guy in the video who is, demoing all of this, he's getting a lot of hits from the enemies. Maybe it's to show off, how it feels to get hit by the enemy attacks. I don't want to comment on his ability of his dodge timings, but hey, he tried his best, I guess. And overall, that's all the combat that was shown. I'm really excited to see how all these new changes will play out once the beta access rolls around. Now we cut to a bamboo-like forest area, and this is completely brand new. We ride a boat to get to the other section of this area, and to me, it really just seems like the team is trying to show off a bit, and for good reason. During the tech test, we had a lot of rocky and gray areas, but now they're trying to go, hey, look what we can make, and I'm pretty happy with the results because these areas look really nice. There's not too much to comment on here other than the area looks nice, and it's a welcome change in scenery from what we had previously with all the rocky areas. My only question would be how long until we reach this area of the game, because unless they change the beginning section of, everything from the tech test, it's gonna be a good while. And at this point in time, the characters are all level 60, so it might not be until a long while until, you know, we get here. We have yet another base section to show off, so you can plant another whole entire anchor base here, which is like the main section of your bases. And it looks to be a water irrigation system is associated with this area, where basically farming might be the main focus of this new area we're seeing. Not only that, but your companions also help you gather as well, which I find to be pretty cute. I think this is brand new. I don't recall seeing this in the previous test. This area of the game appears to be called Wu Ling, according to like translations, and I'm sorry if I said that wrong, but 2 operators hail from here, Da Pan and Li Feng, which I hope I'm saying both correctly. I can see Wu Ling being more related with farming, while our starting area with the hub base is more about rock farms, which is, you know, something all of us Arknight players are used to doing, rock farming. Some people have noticed that some of the technology used here is very reminiscent of things that was in the Arknights game, so there's a lot of references here, and I'm not going to go over every single one, but if you keep your eye out, you're going to see a lot of things that make you go, oh my god, is that thing from Arknights, and it's always fun seeing references like this. Now lastly, we have this last section, which appears to be our, like, base of operations, like our main base in the game. Here you can assign your operators to work in rooms, and it's very similar to the original Arknight base, which finally, this is what Arknight's base building beta was building up towards. We finally have a actual working base. What's cool is that you're able to see your operators walk and work around in these rooms that you assigned them to. And just like in Arknights, they appear to have some kind of stamina, sanity, like, meter, so they can't work forever, unfortunately. As we head into the large room, we run into Chen and we see a gifting system in the game. Giving them gifts will improve their mood, but outside of that, we're unsure what it could lead to. Maybe a marriage system. One can dream. Me and Levitain one day, maybe, hopefully. And finally, at the very end, we get the shot of the planet, and we are in space, it appears. And it's a pretty awesome sight, and I'm sorry, but the Rhodes Island base has nothing on this. We get a base screen that looks really similar to the Arknight's base screen as well. We get to sit in our seat, which appears to be marking this as our entire ship. We own this, which is insane, and that brings us to the end of the demo. To wrap up the video, I just want to say the game is looking great, and if you haven't signed up for the beta, don't do it. First off, the specs are looking pretty crazy, and second, if you don't sign up, that gives me a better chance of getting in, so I would appreciate that. I do have one concern though. There is one character that wasn't present at all during the demo and the website with all the character bios, and that was Flaja, which I hope I'm saying his name correctly, but he wasn't present at all, and he was our medic character during the tech test, and I hope maybe he's just getting a huge overhaul like Wolfguard did, and he wasn't dropped entirely, but we'll see soon in time, but I kind of don't want to see that guy be dropped entirely because I think he was pretty cool. I really like the design and everything. So with that said, the developers actually took our feedback and actually took the time to improve the game, and that's insane. I hate to say this, but the devs actually listened. They actually want to make this game better, and looking forward to all the changes they include. The gameplay is looking great, the scenery is looking better, and the UI looks amazing as well, and going forward, when we get the beta test, I'm excited to see what's going to drop, and I have a lot of faith in Hypergriff, and they are awesome people, and I'm excited to see more. So if you guys want to see some more Arknight videos, I'll be making more Arknight Endfield videos and original Arknight videos as well going forward, so subscribe if you guys want to see more. If not, then oh well, it is what it is. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.